Hey, what's going on, guys? So, this is quite bizarre. It's good to be back. And yeah, that's the real meat and potatoes of this video. It's a long ass update video. I'm going to delve into a lot of things, but if you don't have time for that, know that I am back. I'm back making videos and a new review similar to that box office bombs video I made about a year ago. A new one of those videos is going live tomorrow. The patrons can watch it right now. Thank you very much for the support, guys. That's the basic news that I want to announce. The major thing that I probably should address, first of all, is that I think I'm addressing two completely different kinds of audiences here. I'm addressing some of you guys that know me from the Unusual Suspect channel, and I'm addressing a lot of you guys that just know me from just Suspect Green, just this channel. And for those guys, know that I do have a different YouTube channel called The Unusual Suspect, where I do, well, rather I did, movie reviews and mashup videos and all sorts of stuff. And I've been uploading to that channel for over 10 years now. Crazy, I feel old as hell. And yeah, so the major thing that people from that channel, the Unusual Suspect channel, are wondering, why have I changed channel? Why am I uploading to Suspect Green now only? And the reason for that is that the Unusual Suspect channel has been completely demonetized. Every single video, and it isn't like a record company or anything like that that's demonetized me, it's YouTube themselves. And it's not even like an automated system, it's actual human beings at YouTube that have made this decision. And for anyone wondering, why did they demonetize me? Good question. I don't quite know. They gave me like an automated response saying that I have been demonetized because I use reused content without adding significant value, which I mean, first of all, I definitely do use reused content in my videos. I made lots of mashups with a whole bunch of copyright material in them, but I like to think I added significant value to the footage that I was mashing. And I thought, well, maybe fan-made edits aren't allowed to be monetized anymore, but turns out they are. I was speaking with a YouTube representative, and yeah, they said fan-made edits, they're allowed. So I don't know what I was doing wrong. And the bigger issue isn't so much that they demonetize me, is that they won't tell me why. Because I spoke with partner support and I was like, hey, you've demonetized me, you've taken away all my livelihood, all the money I was making to, live, and you've not even had the common decency to tell me why. They don't tell you because apparently it's like against their policy. All they give you is like an automated response. And I don't know if it was like a false flag situation. I don't know if it was like a mistake or whether it was legitimately because I did something wrong. And I don't know why. I guess I'll put this out there. I mean, if anybody happens to know anybody at YouTube, or if you work at YouTube and you can put in a good word for me, then that would be amazing, because it'd be nice to be able to get that channel monetized again. And for anyone wondering, well, did you appeal? Yeah, I did, and they rejected my appeal. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So yeah, that's why I'm uploading to Suspect Green now. Originally, I began this channel exclusively for my green screen skits, but I like to think that my reviews would be a good fit here as well. Basically, any video that has this face in it. A big reason why I'm moving channel is because I'm kind of like changing the kind of content that I'm making. And one of the major bits of news that I wanted to share with you all is that mashup videos are no more. I'm not making any more mashups. If you only know me from Suspect Green, you might be a bit confused by that, but on my other channel, I did Sung by the Movies videos where I recreated lyrics to songs using movie quotes. A lot of those went quite viral. I did trailer mashups, like in 2014, I had a big hit with Star Wars and the Guardians of the Galaxy style. 2014, man, I feel so old. Also, I made a series of videos where I mashed various Power Rangers intro sequences, and those videos, I think my best theory is that those are the videos that got me demonetized, because visually speaking, I do lots of things with them, but audio-wise, probably not so much, because I am essentially just playing the Power Rangers theme from start to finish. I'm not really like adapting the audio at all. So my theory is that's why I got demonetized. And to play it safe, I'm going to cease production of all mashups going forward. Another reason actually why I'm not doing mashups anymore is because they often got freebooted, which, if you don't know, is when somebody takes your video down and then they re-upload it to somewhere like TikTok or Facebook or whatever. So many of my mashups have been freebooted to TikTok, and I hate these people. I hate people who just freeboot shit. I blame the general audience on the internet as well, because people don't care. We live in a society, I don't know why I'm referencing Joker there, where, yeah, just people just take your shit, re-upload it, and then nobody gives a shit. And nobody in the comments gives a shit either. And for anyone wondering, well, did you watermark your videos? Yeah. Doesn't do anything. I have my unusual suspect watermark on there, but does anybody ever think, hey, I'm going to go to the original content creator and subscribe and give him a like and give him a little bit of ad revenue for his work? No, nobody cares. It's not just TikTok, it's Reddit as well. I've had some of my videos freebooted on there. So for that reason, I'm deciding to call it quits on them. And feel free to skip this, by the way. I'm rambling on. I saw this like podcast that Mr. Beast did once, where he was talking about if my videos get freebooted, then that's just free promotion. And I kind of agree with him, but the thing is that when you make edits that have nothing in them that identifies it as your work, then nobody cares. If a video of mine gets freebooted that has at least my face on it, then that's like an element of exposure, I guess. But when it's an edit could have been made by anybody. So for that reason, trailer mashups and cinema sings and all that jazz. Cinema sings was what I call the Song by the Movies videos, sort of a pun on the channel Cinema Sins. Those videos are no more. So the next thing I want to talk about is what direction am I doing going forward? What's going to be coming to Suspect Green? Well, first of all, I like to do more green screen skits. I'm actually in the process of, because I've recently moved house, by the way, and because hence the new location, and I've got a garage, and it's a massive double garage, which in the UK is like unheard of. Like, you do not get this level of space, because I've moved recently to an island off in the Outer Hebrides up in Scotland called Lewis and Harris. And the main reason why I've done this is because I work from home. You get so much more house for your money up here, and I really wanted the extra space, and I really crave peace and quiet and nature and all that jazz, and Lewis and Harris is great for that. Weather-wise, it's not particularly great, especially because it's winter here at the moment and the weather is not kind. But once we get to the summer months, it should be pretty a-okay. And the garage that we've got is a massive double garage, and I really want to convert that into a massive green screen studio. I actually attempted to film this latest video there, but it needed a lot of like sound dampening work. It's far too echoey in there. Not to mention there's like mold growing in there as well, and the roof needs some work, and so it is a process. I hope to move to the garage eventually, and also the reviews are changing as well. If you saw that box office bombs video I did last year, that's the direction I'm going to be going for in the future. I did a lot of thinking about this, watching videos that other YouTubers made about this, and consider this fantastic advice, by the way, if you want to be some sort of reviewer or critic or some sort of person that talks about content online. I was watching, I think it was Joey the Anime Man, who I'm assuming a lot of you guys already know about, from Trash Taste, and he used to do anime reviews, hence why he's called the Anime Man, but he doesn't do that anymore. And I think a big reason why he stopped is because they just don't get views anymore.
Because the last video I made, where I exclusively talked about an anime, no one fucking watched it. The truth of the matter is, they don't get views anymore.
Some of my old reviews could get millions of views, but now, no way. For anyone wondering why, I was struggling with that for a while myself. I didn't know why, and I finally figured it out. And I have to thank Kadikarus for this, because he was talking about this on a podcast he did, and his direction that he's taken his channel is basically the same direction that I want to take mine. If you do reviews, then you are at the mercy of the interest in whatever it is you're reviewing.
I could do a video on fucking like Glover on PS1. I'd be like, hey, here's my Cat Icarus episode on Glover, everybody. Oh, Caddy, I love your stuff. Not that interested in Glover though, so I'll just check back in next week.
Say you did a review of, I don't know, Pulp Fiction. Great film. But if I did a review of Pulp Fiction, it ain't gonna get views. No way. Why? Because the YouTube algorithm that recommends you videos takes a look at your watch history, and it will recommend you videos based on your watch history. So it sees that your video is about Pulp Fiction, so therefore it'll recommend your video to people that are also interested in Pulp Fiction. Makes sense, right? But this is problematic, because if there is zero interest in the film, which at the moment there isn't, because it's not trending at the moment and it came out years ago and nobody's really talking about it, then you talking about that movie it ain't gonna get views because there's no interest in it. And yeah, you can go down the route of several other YouTubers like your IGNs, or maybe YouTubers like Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Jahns for movies. And then what those guys do is they talk about recent video games and movies, because obviously there's a lot more interest in those because they've just come out. But for someone like me, that doesn't really work very well, because channels like IGN get early access copies. Like, they must get access copies like weeks in advance, because there's some games they review, like, you know, like really long 100-hour plus RPGs that they somehow can get a review out on day one. So they must get their review copies like weeks in advance in order to make the deadline or the embargo date. Sometimes I did get review copies occasionally, like when I reviewed Tekken 7, I got a review copy of that, but I only got it like 2 days early before the release date. So I couldn't possibly like film and edit and get a whole review out in time for that. So for me, the only thing I can do is talk about older films or older video games. But when there is zero interest in those products, how on earth do you get views on those videos? How is that possible? Well, the way to do it is, instead of reviewing one movie or one video game, you review several movies or several video games that all fit under a theme. That way, it turns your video into less of a review and more of like a variety show. So when you talk about several movies or several video games, well, that's a lot more broad in its appeal, because if you're not particularly interested in one movie that I'm talking about, maybe you might be interested in the next one or the next one. And that kind of helps watch time as well, because you might be interested to see what the next movie or video game that I'm talking about is. For those who don't know, I used to do these movie reviews in the sort of the style of the Nostalgia Critic, very synopsis based reviews, where I would take a look at a single film, make my way through the film, and then add jokes and thoughts as I went along. And those videos were very, very popular with you guys. But despite how much you guys liked them, the YouTube algorithm wouldn't recommend them because of the fact that I was reviewing one movie. Therefore, YouTube algorithm didn't know who to recommend the video to. So when you review several different movies, you can call your video something that doesn't rely on an IP's name. So therefore, when you don't put an IP name in the title of a YouTube video, the algorithm's like, oh, well, this video is just about movies. So therefore, it'll recommend your video to a lot more people, because you're talking about a video talking about movies in general, and then you're talking about a video talking about one particular movie. As you can see, the new format is a lot more broad in its appeal, and therefore the videos should do better. And you guys seem to respond quite well to this new format as well, and that's the direction going forward. So going up tomorrow is a video about foreign language superhero films, and the amazing thing about this format actually is that it allows you to talk about movies that not many people might not even know about. Again, with that box office bombs video, one of the movies that I talked about in that video was Cutthroat Island, for example. If I did a review of Cutthroat Island, nobody would care, nobody would watch, because there's zero interest in that movie. But bundle that in with reviews of other films, and suddenly there's a lot more interest in it. So I have to thank Icarus for this idea, and there's plenty of other YouTubers that do this. Diamond Bolt is one example who does this quite well. So going forward, that's the direction I'm going forward with this channel. And the last bit of news that I wanted to share with you all is well, why haven't I uploaded in like forever? Long story short, I've just been very, very busy with video editing work. I've been editing for 2 different YouTube channels, Epic Rap Battles of History and Ray William Johnson. And if you don't know who those guys are, that's a bit of a rock you've been living under. Epic Rap Battles of History is a series of videos where they pit 2 historical characters in rap battles against each other. It's kind of self-explanatory with the title. And Ray William Johnson was literally the most subscribed YouTuber at one point. He had a show called Equals 3 where he looked at different viral videos, and he's now doing a very similar thing now. And for anyone wondering, how on earth did you get the jobs working for those guys? Because those guys are based in the States and I'm based in the UK. Like, what's the connection? I was making mashups on my own channel. Specifically, the one that got the attention of ERB was the Offspring Pretty Fly for a White Guy Sung by the Movies video. And that video got over 1 million hits. The band themselves saw it, which was really, really cool. And it just so happened that Nice Peter of Epic Rap Battles of History fame saw it. And he sent me an email completely out of the blue. And he was like, hey, yeah, you got a good thing going on your channel. Would you be up for doing something kind of similar for us? So what he wanted me to do is he wanted me to take footage of them talking about future rap battle ideas. And then he wanted me to like remix that to a beat.
He can rap really well. Yeah. 2 walruses.
What?
Yes, serious.
And I made that video for him. Turns out they liked it, but I did say to Pete, like, hey, I'm a freelance video editor. If you know of anybody that needs an editor, then could you put me in touch? That would mean a lot. And Pete was like, yeah, sure. And then cut to 2019. It turns out that Epic Rap Battles History's performance cut editor, who is the guy that edits the video, but without the backgrounds and visual effects. I like to think of it as kind of like a storyboard of the battle. Turns out the guy who edited those got a job working on a movie. Good for him, and also good for me, because it turns out they had a slot they had to fill in their crew. At the time, Pete and Lloyd, I believe they were on vacation at the time. So they were like, oh shit, what do we do? Our editor's unavailable. And then Pete, God bless his soul, thought of me. I also edit the behind the scenes videos too. So yes, by including this B-roll of myself editing, I am later going to be editing myself. Editing myself. Editing myself. Editing my... But yeah, working for ERB is fantastic and I love it. And I'm still working for them to this day. The first one that I worked on was Mother Teresa versus Sigmund Freud. And I went on to do ones like Joker versus Pennywise and Oppenheimer versus Thanos. And more recently, I did Henry Ford versus Karl Marx. And editing for them is fantastic. However, the issue with editing for Epic Rap Battles History was that they don't upload very often. Which sucks, because I love ERB and I wish they'd upload more. But I needed to find other editing work, and it kind of like came at kind of like the wrong time, but kind of at the right time as well, because in February of 2023, I had just uploaded that Box Office Bombs video, and the YouTube algorithm actually recommended it for once, and I actually like, oh shit, I've actually found a format that actually works, holy shit, let's go, let's get on with making more of these. But then, as I finally figured it out, a job opportunity came up that I couldn't pass up because Ray William Johnson was looking for a video editor. Ray knew Pete because Ray was on Epic Rap Battles History as well. And then Pete recommended me. God bless, nice Peter, he's amazing. And and then I began editing for Ray.
Look at that, I think bro did an actual spin move. Can someone please make him a Mortal Kombat character?
Come on, Robin!
I feel like there could be just some dude in there looking at you.
That's your penis.
This is how it actually looks now because of all the trash people leave up there.
Hey, Brandy, I think I done busted my stink bone.
Like, what is this, the herniated disc speed run?
My back. It's a new record.
You know what I do to kids who tap on the glass? Damn, that was brutal. That felt personal. It was like the other night slept with his wench.
Right, I'll do you for that.
Everyone claps.
Well, that's it. Time to flip the machine over. Hey! Trampoline, 15 feet in the air, next to a glass railing. Put our kids on it. What could go wrong?
And editing for him was fantastic. I loved it. The problem, however, is that it was extremely time consuming because Ray uploads every single day. Editing the videos was great and all, but you've got to find moderation with it. Eventually, Ray began hiring other editors to help with the workload because he was expanding and he wanted to build his team. I believe his production team is like 6 or so people now, whereas when Ray hired me, it was just me and him. Ray was fantastic. Ray is cool, but Ray decided to move his content more towards longer format videos. When I began editing for him, the videos were all on the short shelf. So they were like 30, 40, 50-second videos long. So editing one of those every day, that's doable. But when the videos got like 2, 3, 4, one even went up to 7 minutes long, I was like, oh, this is it's becoming a bit too much for me. And I was spending so much time editing for Ray. I was like, I've got to get back to my own YouTube channel eventually because I found my rhythm. I found a video format that actually works. I've got to get back to it. So I said to Ray, like, Ray, it's been awesome, but I really want to get back to my own YouTube stuff. Ray was like, cool. Thank you very much, Ray. It was amazing editing for you, but I really want to make a go at making my own YouTube videos. That's the dream. I really want to make more content for you guys. And I hope going forward, you guys like what I have in store. I've got new reviews in the works. The next video will be a video about Lord of the Rings, but specifically not the Jackson trilogy, but all the adaptations that came before it. And believe it or not, there were actually 8 on-screen adaptations of Lord of the Rings before Peter Jackson's trilogy, believe it or not. and I want to talk about all of those. And my lord, there's some absolute doozies in there. I'm looking forward to talking about them with you. So that foreign language superhero video is going up live tomorrow, and yeah, that's about it. Filming this just feels so weird. I'm not used to this. It's like I'm starting fresh. I'm starting anew. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you stuck around to the ending, my god, you are amazing, because I ramble on a lot. Yeah, hope you guys like what I have in store, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace.